Radio check.
And welcome to Youth Net number 151 for March the 6th, 2026. My name is Carlos, N1CBM, and along with Sal, W2SAL, and of course Vicky, always in the logs, keeping us straight, KE8VKY. We have two of the greatest and bestest net controllers the ECR has to offer. KG4BUT, Mr. Grayson, and KR4GIP, Miss River. They both are going to take care of you guys throughout this hour for the Youth Net. Slot 1 is going to be manned by Grayson from 8:05 to 8:30, and slot 2 is going to be taken by Miss River, the last one. With that being said, a couple of announcements. Remember, you have a text line to avoid the pileups, and if you want to do it comfortable and get your call sign in the list, text your call sign to 716-317-9050, or if you fancy the email way, you can do it through text at ecr.radio. Just your call sign, either in the body of the email or the title line, will get you in there. Now, for tonight, the question is, what's the happiest day of your life? If you can remember it, you can tell us, and also, you can ask a question to the kids after you finish answering your question. Once again, I'll start with UseNet 151, 151. Mobile check-ins, any mobile check-ins who want to check in into the UseNet for tonight. Call signs twice and slow.
JN, in and out.
KA5GSS, KA5GSS.
KE2BDO, KE2BDO, Bravo Delta Oscar, in and out.
KF8 FQN, KF8 FQN, in and out.
Kilo, Quebec 4, Oscar, Romeo Kilo, KQ4, ORK, Mobile. Kilo 8, Foxtrot Alpha Sierra, KF8, FAS. Chris, Wastown, Ohio, in and out, please.
KR4, COH, Kilo Romeo 4, Charlie Oscar Hotel. No traffic, top of the evening to the net. In and out, monitoring. Try some general check-ins now. General check-ins for the Youth Net tonight, Friday, the 6th of March, 2026. Call signs twice and slow, please.
Bravo 8, Papa Lima Victor, KB8 PLV, Chris. November 3, Mike Delta Charlie. November 3, Mike Delta Charlie.
All right, that's a good list right there. I'm going to acknowledge from the bottom up. I'm going to start with the in and outs first. KR4 COH, Hector, KF8 FAS, Christopher, KF8 FQN, Wyatt, and W2CJM, Charles. Thanks for sticking your hand and saying hello. So we have N3MDC, Michael, KB8 PLV, Chris, KR4 ORK. We have KE2 BDO as a mobile, Richard, KA5 GSS, Shane, also a mobile. W2 RBC, Randy, N4 WBF, Walker, KR4 KAW, Ryan, and WB3 ILA. Steve, of you guys who are mobile, I'm going to send it over to Grayson, KG4BUT, for the first round of check-ins. Grayson, it's all yours.
Okay, thanks, Carlos. Alright, full stop. WB3ILA. Stephen from Eastern Pennsylvania.
Hello, Grayson, everyone on the net. This is Steve, WB3ILA. Good evening. Happiest day of my life was when my, well, I guess it was two of them, when my sons were born. That's pretty much, you guys probably get a few of those answers. All right, so. All right, back to you, Grayson. Have a good evening. WB3ILA.
Alright, please see Steven. Next up. I gotta do the mobiles first. Well, at least I'm supposed to. Calls remind me of. So, KA5GSS, Shane from League City, Texas.
This is KA5GSS. The happiest day of my life was whenever I got home from Desert Storm and put my feet on United States soil. And that was the happiest day of my life. KA5GSS, back to net control. Thanks for running it there, Grayson.
Alright, please see Shane. Next up, KE2BDO, Richard from Schuyler Falls, New York. KE2BDO, Richard from Schuyler Falls, New York. Can you come again?
You go ahead.
You're supposed to answer the question, what is the happiest day of your life?
Linda Rose Everton.
Well, I'm just gonna skip right over y'all, since seems like y'all again for not calling for new check-ins, so KR4OLK, well, call sign song was KR4, since that seems to be a QRC lookup error. The call sign seems familiar to KR4OLK, please come.
Kilo Quebec 4, Oscar Romeo Kilo, KQ Fork. Good to be on the Youth Net tonight. Haven't been able to check in for a little while. As others have said, happiest day of my life, day my daughter was born. July 14th, 1991. She's getting married in May now. Hope everybody has a great weekend. 73, back to net control. Great what you're doing. KQ4, ORK, in the mobile.
Some fleas to you, Barry. Next up, KL4KAW Ryan. Oh, hold on. Yeah, KL4KAW Ryan from Rock Hill, South, Carolina.
You got it, Grayson. Net control. This is KR4KAW, Ryan from Rock Hill, South Carolina. You got it. Happiest day of my life. Been torn between a couple, but the one that's coming to mind is when I skydived for the first time. It was truly an exhilarating experience. October 18th, 2014, when I turned 18. And since I said we could ask you a question, if there's anywhere in the world you could ever go, where would it be? Back to you, Grayson, net control. You're doing a great job.
that's a good question. I don't really know. I'm not gonna lie, I kinda want to move to like maybe Scotland, maybe Iceland. Not gonna lie, honestly. That's simply Sue. Lion. Next up, and for WBF, local from Delphia, Alabama.
Yeah, this is N4WBF, and that is close enough, Grayson, as Daphne, Alabama. And thank you for running the net tonight. I just wanted to see that, mother of daughter, and I'm sure you'll hear a lot of fathers say that the happiest day of their life is when their kids are born, and surely that is. But I'm going to be a little cheesy here, and I'm going to say is when I got my license approved, and I say that because my ham radio license, and I say that because I got caught in a log jam during the government shutdown, and after all the stuff started getting back to normal, I got lost in the papers or in the digital files and whatnot, and there's a lot of waiting, a lot of checking, and so when it finally came through, and I told my wife, I said, "This is the happiest day of my life," and of course she got mad at me because we have 2 kids. Back to you, Grayson.
I don't know how to feel about that one. Somebody please do Waco. Next up, W2 RBC Randy from West Chestnut, New York.
Good evening, Grayson, River, and everyone on the Youth Net. The happiest day of my life was when I was hired for my first position as electrical engineer. It made the work I did in college worthwhile. Grayson, I have a question for you. Are you still working on SDRs? Back to net control, 73 to all, W2 RBC.
I, in fact, am working on SDLs. So free to Randy. Next up, W2 CJM Charles from Silden, New York. My name is in and out. Hold on. KF8QFQN. Wyatt, hold on. Wyatt from Inlay. I see why it was in and out in that line. TB8 PLV Cliff, Noby, Michigan.
Good evening, Grayson, and everyone on the net tonight. My probably most exciting, wonderful day was probably when I got married and started my family and led to so many other new blessings. But my question for you is, what is it that you find the most challenging or difficult in doing the Youth Net, being the controller? Back to you, KB8PLV.
Yeah, that's kind of a tough, not because it's hard to answer, but spill the tea a little. Not really, but kind of. It's kind of hard to say. Like, how do I put this? Like, it's like every Friday, like I spend time away from my family doing this. I'm like, of course, I only get like halfway done with the net, but still, I'm like, that bad, so, you know. Okay, it's not that bad, so, you know. Other than that, yeah, it's great doing the youth net. Next up, first of all, some free Sequest. Next up, N3MDC, Michael from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Well, Grayson, that's an easy one. I hope people don't get mad at me if I say this. The happiest day of my life is when I finally graduated from high school. You know, I was finally ready to graduate. I graduated from school back in May of 1998, and that was the happiest day of my life when I finally got to graduate from school, and I really enjoyed it. When I graduated, I was real happy when I graduated. I had my friends and my family there at my graduation. That was a happiest day of my life when I graduated back in May of 1998. And here's my question for you, Grayson. What are your plans for spring break?
Plans for spring break, I don't really have any, honestly. Some freaks to you, Michael. Next up, WB8 OEF, Dave from Ypsilanti, Michigan.
Oh, good evening, Grayson and River and everybody else on the Youth Net this evening. I have to bend the rules here. I'd get in trouble if I said my happiest day was when my son was born, but then I had a daughter, and then I had another daughter. I had 3 great days. And my question to you, Grayson, is what is your favorite contact you've made so far? WB8ODF.
That's a good question, actually. My favorite contract. That's a good one. I don't know, actually. Next up, Katie Free, Adriana, and Anna from Beaver, Pennsylvania.
Hi, Grayson and everyone else on the net tonight. The happiest day, I guess, of my life was when my daughter was born. Everybody have a great evening. KD3AJN.
So, Audie, again, was your question for me if you had one? I can't remember. I wasn't paying attention. Next up, KM4CTB, Johnny from Jacksonville Beach, Florida.
Oh, good evening, Grayson, River, and all your Youth Net support crew on the I think, like others, I think when I got married seemed like the happiest day, and then we had our daughter, and that became the happiest day, and then our son, and it's progressed now to 2 grandchildren. I think the height will be the birth of a great grandchild, but let's go with the birth of a grandchild now as the greatest time. And which mode do you find yourself using most often? Which one do you prefer, Grayson? KM4CTB, back to net.
day, honestly. So free to Donnie. Next up, I will hand it back over to callers to call for more seconds.
Okay, Grayson, thank you for that. Great job, and that was a great first round of check-ins. Let's keep the energy going here in YouthNet number 151 for Friday, 6th of March, 2026. A couple of reminders. 716-317-9050 is the text check line. You seem to have the grasp of that system, or the text at ecr.radio if you fancy the email way. Question for the night, just a reminder, what's the happiest day of your life? And you can ask a question, the kids, back after you answer your question. So let's go for another round of check-ins. General, mobile, or in and outs, always valid with your call signs twice, please. And 2BH. 2BH.
K6 GBZ, K6 GBZ, in and out.
This is KF8 EID, KF8 EID, in and out.
November 1, Whiskey, Echo, Bravo, N1, WEB.
All right, we're in an active net right now. We're taking check-ins for the YouthNet number 151. Let's keep them coming, guys, so we can keep these kids busy with the net throughout the night. N1CBM looking for more check-ins here, YouthNet, twice and slow.
This is Kilo Charlie 1, Whiskey Papa Echo. Would anybody have a copy? I'm just checking in. FHQ. This is Kilo Charlie 1, Whiskey Papa Echo, Connecticut.
KC1WPE, we got you on the list. We're gonna come back to you after we take more check-ins here for YouthNet. Thanks for your patience. Carlos, N1CBM, looking for a few more check-ins before I hand it back to Grayson again for his second round of check-ins.
This is Kilo Juliet 5, Bravo Whiskey Bravo. Kilo Juliet 5, Bravo Whiskey Bravo. Name here is Willie, checking in.
KO4, KO4, FRR, KO4, FRR, in and out.
Okay, we'll hold it right there and run this list from the bottom up. The ins and outs are KO4 FRR, Joe. We have KF8 EID, Terrence, and K6 GBZ. Tom, thanks for waving a hand. We just got KJ5 BWB, Willie, KC1WPE, David, KQ4 GLY, Chris, KB0 GUF, John, N1 WEB, Web, KA8 BYU, Roy, and N2BH, Bill. And I didn't forget KE8 WNY, Mark. If you're new and you don't have an email on QR set, if you fix that, the system will send a letter with a bunch of information of what the East Coast Reflector is all about. Grayson, this is Carlos N1CBM sending it to you so you can take care of this second round of check-ins.
Okay, thank you, Carlos. Alright, KHWNY Mall from New Baltimore, Michigan. KHWNY Mall from New Baltimore, Michigan. I guess he is not there. N2BH, Bill from Palmel, New York.
Good evening, Grayson, River, and everybody. You guys doing a good job tonight? I'd have to say when I retired from my second career, been enjoying life ever since, and I can't think of a question for you tonight, so have a good weekend. N2BH.
Some freeze to you, Roy. Next up, the N1 WB Web from Cornville, Tennessee.
Thank you, Jason. Hello, River, and everybody behind the scenes there. You can put me down as the birth of my children, when my children were born, and also walking my daughter down the aisle when she was married. How are things in Orlando? N1 WEB.
If you, I'm like, Orlando's very overcrowded. I'm like, Orlando's only built for like 10,000 people. We're almost to like 500,000, I think, to Orlando, like population-wise. If not, then like for like more than like 1 million at this point. Yeah, it's just really over. I gotta say. Simply C Web. Next up, WB0GUF, John from South St. Paul, Michigan.
Good evening, Grayson. Good evening, everyone on Youth Net tonight. Thank you for checking in and showing support for these young people. The happiest day of my life, I'm going to go with would be the birth of my two sons. That would be the quintessential happiness. I don't have a question for you tonight. Have a good night. Thanks for having me. KB0GUF, clear.
Some please to you. John, next up, KQ4, GLI, Chris from Paris, Florida.
Good evening, Grace, and everyone on the net. I would say when I returned home from Afghanistan, Operation Enduring Freedom. That was a happy day when I got back in the States. Back to you.
Some please to you. Chris, next up, KC1WPE, David from Bridgeport, Kentucky. Hold on. The KC1WPE, Bridgeport, Kentucky. Well, guess not. So, KJ5BWB, Billy from Bolton, Texas.
Well, good evening, everyone. From Willie here, KJ5BWB. I understand your name is Grayson, and you are only the second Grayson. I'm almost 40 years old, and I've only talked to 2 of you now, so that's awesome. The happiest day of my life is, I guess, when I turned 16, I got to solo in sailplanes. I got a pilot team, and I was nervous as heck taking off for the first time, flying behind the tow plane. It was just a little bit of pattern work on my solo, but when I touched the ground, it was an ultimate feeling of freedom and bliss and all kinds of big words just rolled into one. But very, very happy to hear some younger folks on here. I got it 4 years ago. I thought I was the young crowd. Hi. But question for you. You're in Orlando. Have you done any scuba diving, or do you plan to do any diving? Back to you.
The answer to that question, no. And also, hey, Carlos, I see you smiling. I see you. Yeah. Some for you, Willie. KO4 FRR, Joe from Swanton, Florida. Mine, he was, in and out. So, I handed it back over to Carlos and one CBM to hand it over to, at this point, I'll say 7-3CR, KG4VT clear.
Good deal, Grayson. Good job. And you know, when someone talks about airplanes or flying, my smile goes from ear to ear. That's part of my life. And my favorite and my happiest day, the happiest day of my life, everybody has a few days that are replacing the previous ones. When I graduated high school, then when I graduated, my mouth is going numb, graduated college, and then I did my first solo flight, Cessna 172, and then, you know, the top of the line for the days of my life, the favorite days of my life, are the 2 days when my 2 daughters were born. October 13, my birthday, by chance, and July the 8th. With that being said, we're going to go for another round of check-ins because Miss River is getting anxious for her shift here. 716-317-9050 for the text check-ins. And the round of check-ins is valid for mobiles, generals, in and outs, airplane, submarine mobiles, or bicycle mobiles. Anything is valid. Call signs twice as slow, please.
Kilo 2, Charlie Mike Tango, K2 CMT.
WB2JP kill. WB2JP kill.
Bravo 2, Whiskey Golf Charles, Kilo Bravo 2, Whiskey Golf Charles, mobile. A8B1U.
Alpha 1 Echo X-ray, AV1EX. Buddy anywhere? To keep populating the list here, Miss Vicky is getting sad that no one's calling. Call signs twice on slow. Let's see if we can get more check-ins for Miss Vicky. For Miss River, please.
N2ZVN. N2ZVN.
November 1, Whiskey Echo Bravo, N1 WEB.
Whiskey 5 Papa Tango Delta W5 PTD. I've got third-party traffic.
Okay, there's a good list down here, and I'm recognizing W5PTD and W5PTD, pole and third-party traffic, and N3 DQD, Ray, N1 WEB, Web again, thanks very much for checking in, recheck, N2 ZBM, same goes for you, Alan, and Maddie, AB1EX, George, KA8, BYU, Roy, thanks for being here again, KB2 WGC, Kevin, WB2JPQ, Dick, K2CMT, Mike from DeBary, Florida. I want to send it over to Miss River, KR4GIP, and this is Carlos, N1CBM, sending it over.
Alright, thank you, Carlos. I just want to remind everyone that you can ask me a question too. Alright, next up we have K2CMT, Mike in DeBary, Florida.
Well, since I'm the net tonight, I've been a bad boy for a minute. It just turned the radio on. I didn't realize it was mobiles only. So you'll have to give me a pass on this one. But the best day and the worst day of my life happened within milliseconds of each other. I used to, when I was young and dumb, used to jump out of airplanes, perfectly good ones, Carlos, just for the fun. And one day, when I pulled the ripcord, I had nothing but garbage above my head, and I had to cut away and go for a reserve. The worst day was when the garbage came out, and the best day was when the reserve popped open. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Miss River, with spring coming on, summer's not far away. Have you got summer plans?
I think I do. I have plans to go to an encampment for Civil Air Patrol, but I think that's pretty much it. Thank you for coming. Next up we have WB2JPQ, Dick in Eden, New York.
Why would anybody jump out of a perfectly good airplane, River? I guess that's my question. Hey, good evening. Good evening to you, River, Grayson, and everybody. This is a tough question. I could go with the crowd, I guess, and say when my first son was born, but I'm going to think out of the box today. I'm going to say today is maybe the best day of my life because, you know, we need to remember that tomorrow is not promised, so we need to live today. So that's a little out of the box, but didn't want to go with the flow here, but I think when my first son was born. And I got two questions for you, River. Number one, I need to know how your Civil Air Patrol ride was last Saturday, I think. And I also want to know, when are you going to come and do a little bit of the morning brew with me on either Thursday or Fridays? When's your dad going to let you get a few hours or an hour or so off of school? That's my question to you. This is WB2JPQ.
Well, my flight on Sunday was very enjoyable and very fun. It was going to be my answer for the happiest day of my life. And as for the question about when am I going to help you with the net, well, we'll have to see. We'll have to schedule a time. I'd love to do it. And yeah, so thank you for coming. Next up we have KB2WGC, Kevin in Homosassa, Florida.
Good evening, River. And good evening to everybody on the net. That's a tough question. It's like asking who's your favorite kid. I have a few happiest days of my life. The day I got my pilot's license, the day I got married, the day my daughter was born, and the day my daughter graduated with her master's. But I have a question for you. It's a two-parter. Where are you going for your encampment? Because I spent over 20 years with the Civil Air Patrol, and you should enjoy it. And congratulations on your flight. Back to you, Rivers, KB2WGC.
I think the encampment is going to be held on the military base, Slocum military base. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be held there. Anyways, thank you for coming. Next up, we have KAH, BYU, Roy, and Blasto.
Everybody on the net. And Semper Vigilance from a 25-year alumni of Civil Air Patrol. Was a member myself, and I hope you have a lot of fun at the encampment. Those are always great times. As far as the happiest day of my life, well, that was when my son was born, and it was tempered by the fact that unfortunately we lost all those aboard Challenger. Those both occurred on the same day. And then the second happiest would be when my grandson was born. And River, how many hours a week do you spend in Civil Air Patrol activities? Back to you.
Well, I don't spend as much as I'd like to. Not nearly as much as I'd like to, but 2 hours every 2 weeks because I don't go to every meeting. So yeah, my Tuesdays are pretty packed, and that's when they are having it. So I can't go to every meeting. Anyways, thank you for coming. Next up we have AB1EX George in Madison, Alabama. Alright, AB1EX George in Madison, Alabama. Please come now.
Anyway, sorry about that. Good evening, River and the net. This is George, and yes, my happiest day of my life was when my kids' lives turned successful. So watching them grow up and become successful was really a thrill. My question back to you is, have you been able to get any of your friends involved in ham radio, kids your age?
I do actually have a friend who's interested in ham radio and wants to get their license. She's, I think, 1 year older than me. So yeah, thank you for coming. Next up we have N2ZVN, Maddie and Alan in Kendall, New York.
Oh, good evening, River, and everyone that makes this net possible. Thank you. Well, you know, like's been said many times on here tonight, there's many, many different best times of your life. But, you know, the latest one, I can't say when Maddie was born. I have to say when Maddie came home, because Maddie was born at 28 weeks, and we joke with her saying she came out half-baked. So she spent 23 weeks in the NICU, and it was scary as heck for us. But I'll tell you what, when she came home, that was the best day. So that's what I got for you. Hey, everyone have a great night and a great weekend, and we'll check in with you next week. N2ZVN, back to net control.
WEB Webb in Collierville, Tennessee.
Thank you, River. One of my favorite things about this net is that you can check in twice. So this is a recheck. So I have two answers for tonight. I first of all said that when my children were born, but for my second reply here, I'm going to say the day I was able to retire. My wife and I both retired on the same day, and it was such a nice thing to be able to retire from work after a long career. So I'll take that. You can put that down in the log for my answer. And my question to you, Mrs. Webb wants to know what your favorite subject was in school. This is N1 WEB.
Well, my favorite subject in school is science. Thank you for coming. Next up, we have N3DQD Ray in Beaver, Pennsylvania.
For that. And Dick stole my question that I was going to ask you, so I have another question. Do you ever intend to sail or be a passenger in a sailplane? Back to you. This is N3DQD.
Well, I intend to be in every type of plane. So, yeah, I do intend to get in one of those. Next up, we have W5PTD Paul in Spring, Texas.
Probably one of the happiest days of my life was getting my dog back to net control.
Alright, thank you for coming. Next up we have K2AP Joe in East Islip, New York. K2AP Joe in East Islip, New York, please come now. Alright, we're going to count that one in and out, and I'm going to hand it over to Carlos to get some more check-ins. Over to you, Carlos. This is KR4GIP.
The South Coast Reflector will be connecting to the Central Texas Hub in Gatesville, Texas in 10 minutes.
Everybody, and thanks for the double check-ins. As Webb said, that's a great perk of this net. You can check in twice 3 times, 4 times, as many times as you like. If you come up with a new question for the kids, that's welcome. This is Carlos, N1CBM. I'm looking for a few more check-ins. We still have 10 minutes, plenty of time for 8, 9, or 10 check-ins. And you know the drill. Mobile, general, ins and outs, 716-317-9050. Call signs twice and slow, please.
Kilo, Echo 2, Charlie, Charlie, Kilo. Kilo, Echo 2, Charlie, Charlie, Kilo. In and out. W2,
King
BLT, W2,
Boston, Mary Sugar. King Abel 3, Boston, Mary Sugar.
Kilo, Foxtrot 4, Zulu, Lima, Golf. Kilo, Foxtrot 4, Zulu, Lima, Golf. Check man and 73. PEV, 89, PEV.
Whiskey 3, Whiskey, Bravo, Bravo. Whiskey 3, Whiskey, Bravo, Bravo. In and out.
Kilo, Juliet 5, Mike, Echo, Lima. Kilo, Juliet 5, Mike, Echo, Lima. Jose in Austin, Texas. In and out. Victor Kilo 4, Hotel Tango Echo.
Kilo, Romeo 4, Juliet, Alpha, Charlie.
Alpha, Alpha 3, Mike Romeo, AA3MR. Name is Walt, Clerton, Pennsylvania. And good evening to everybody on the net.
November 7, Mike Zulu Victor. In 7, MZV. Name is Cal. In Apache Junction, Arizona.
2 CCK, and we had another one early on in the check-in process. We couldn't quite get the check-in. But anyways, thanks very much, guys, for waving a hand. And from the bottom up, the ones who want to talk to River, N7MZVK, AA3MR, Walter, KR4, JAC, Dan, VK4HDE, all the way from down under, Tom, KE9BEV, Robert, your new hint of what's going to come to your email, letter with all the goodies from the ECR, KR4KAW, Ryan, KA3 BMS, Hank, W2 BLT, Scott, and that's it. I want to send it over to River. This is Carlos, N1CBM. River, you have the con.
Alright, thank you, Carlos. Next up, we have W2BLT Scott in Buffalo, New York.
Well, good evening, River. Good to talk with you and finally meet you there tonight. Happiest day of my life, I don't know. I tell you, the day I retired was a pretty good day, and it has been ever since, because every day's Saturday. And I don't know what question I would have for you. Really don't have one. Well, on that note, you have a great night, and thanks for running the net. This is W2BLT.
Alright, thank you for coming. I love your call sign better than the last two letters, 3 letters. Next up, we have KA3BMS Hank in Gwinnett Valley, Pennsylvania.
Good evening. No, I'm not at Gwinnett Valley. Excuse me. No, I'm not in Gwinnett Valley. I am from Newtown Square, Delaware County. This is KA3BMS. One of the first happy days I remember while in high school, I got my ham radio license. Then upgraded to general. Then acquired a 40 years ago last month, I bought a brand new solid state station, and today I finally replaced it with a Yaesu 710. So I guess those are a few happy days. Am I supposed to ask you a question, River? How old was your mother when she was your age? K3BMS.
My mother would be 12 years old. Thank you for coming. Next up, we have KR4KAW Ryan in Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Thank you, River. This is KRAW. I've heard you on the ECR before. Good to hear you on the net. Another, happy day for me would be when I graduated college at in May of last year, actually 2025. And as far as for you, because you seem to have some interest in aviation, if there was any specific type of aircraft you could fly, regardless of the, realistic likelihood of doing it, if there's any particular plane anywhere in the world that you could fly, what would it be? Back to you, and keep it up. 73.
Well, I'm not really sure. There are a lot of planes that I'd like to fly. I'd like to fly a really fast plane, a jet. Yeah, that would be really fun. Alright, thank you for coming. Next up, we have KE9BEV Robert in Indianapolis, Indiana.
KD9BEV, is it possible you accidentally wrote my call sign down as KD9BEV because my call sign is KD9BEV?
I don't know. You're coming in a little spotty. KD9PEV, Caleb in Ringgold. I'm really tired. What is that abbreviation?
Okay, KD9PEV. I will answer the question then. The happiest day of my life would have to be the day that I got my amateur. It was right before COVID-19 hit, and I passed my general on the first. Been a fun activity ever since. Back to you, River. This is KD9PEV.
Thank you for coming. Next up, we have VK4HTE, Tom in Kapalaba. These names are really getting to me. VK4HTE, Tom in Kapalaba, Australia. Please come now.
Victor Kilo 4 Hotel Tango Echo, VK4HD, Tom in Kapalaba. You did a fantastic job there, River, in getting your tongue around that bit of a tongue twister of a suburb. The suburb is in the Bayside suburbs of Brisbane, and it's quite a nice thing. It is 12 midday on Saturday over here, so I think you're still on Friday over there. What's the most enjoyable time of my life? When I regenerated my amateur licence. I'd had it for roughly 50 odd years. I let it slip, and then when I retired, I decided it was time to get back in the hobby, which I did do. And I've just moved QTH from Kapalaba to a place called Victoria Point, closer to the water, so I've had to reset up everything again. And a question for you, would you like to visit Australia, and what part would you like to come to? Over. And your call sign, please, so I can log you in QRZ.
There are lots of things in Australia that are very creepy and crawly, but yeah, I do think I'd like to visit it someday. Thank you for coming. Next up, we have KR4JAC, Dan in, sorry if I botched this pronunciation, Ocoee, Florida.
You almost got it right.
Well, you're coming in very staticky. I did not catch a word that you said. Well, thank you for coming and trying. Next up we have AA3MR Walter in Clariton.
Good evening, River, and everybody on the net. Probably I would have to say whenever I went for my amateur radio license back in '92, there was 5 classes, novice, tech, general, advanced, and extra, and I passed the 5 words a minute, and then and for the novice and tech, and then I was a tech with HF, and then the guys talked me into trying for my 13 words a minute code. And first time I ever took the test in here, I passed the 13 words a minute, and then went back and got the general, and I think another 4 months later I passed the advanced, and then back in '95, first time for the 20 words a minute I didn't pass, but then the second time I got it, and that was a thrill for me. I really enjoyed meeting new people and talking to people like you, River, and you're very, very good at net control. You do a fantastic job. And my question to you is, what grade are you in, and what is your favorite subject? Thanks for having me this evening. This is Alpha 3, Mike Romeo, back to net control.
The grade I'm in is, I'm in 7th grade, and my favorite subject in school is science. Thank you for coming. Next up, we have N7MZV Cal in, Apache Junction, Arizona. N7MZV Cal in Apache Junction, Arizona. Please come now. Alright, I'm gonna hand it over to Carlos, to close the net. I'm not sure what time it is, or, get some more check-ins. This is KR4 GIP. Over to you, Carlos.
Kilo Foxtrot 4 Zulu Lima Golf. Check me in and out. 73.
Hey, great job there, River. Fantastic. Everybody's having a lot of fun. Great questions. Super interactions between you and the people checking in. Let's see if we can extend it a little bit here and get some more check-ins for Miss River. She feels refreshed. I see her in the Zoom room getting some treats there, getting the energy back up, so she can keep doing this for a few more minutes. This is Carlos, N1CBM. Remember, guys, you have the text line, 716-317-9050, or the email way at text@ecr.radio. Let's get some more check-ins to see if we can finish the night with flying stars. Call signs twice, and slow, please.
K2AP. K2AP.
Kilo 7 Zulu Sierra Hotel. KK7 ZSH.
N6QDY, N6QDY, in and out.
Kilo Foxtrot 4 Zulu Lima Golf. Check me in and out.
QFLO, KE2FLO, in and out.
Alrighty then, we'll take this 5 here, 3 of which are ins and outs. K2FLO, KF4, ZLG, and 6QDY. My friend David from Sacramento, California. You guys were all in and out. Thank you very much for waving a hand. And KK7, ZSH, Jason. K2AP, Joe, East Islip, New York. I want to send them over to River so you can answer the question and ask a question back. N1CBM, sending it to KR4GIP.
right, thank you, Carlos. Carlos. Next up we have K2AP Joe in East Islip, New York.
Good evening, River. Good evening to the net. The best day of my life was when my children were born, definitely. And the question I have for you, River, is how did you get involved with ham radio? K2AP, back to that.
I think the question was, how did I get into ham radio? Well, my dad was into ham radio, and I thought it was really cool, so I got it. Anyways, thank you for coming. And I just want to say, if Dennis in New Bern is still here, I'm in New Bern too. It's pretty cool. Anyways, I'm going to send it over to Carlos to close the net. This is KR4GIP.
I say it was a great net for the kids. They did a good job, Grayson and River. Fantastic controllers. See, I told you guys when we were starting that they are the best and greatest controllers we have to offer here in the ECR. On behalf of the kids, River, Grayson, Miss Vicky always keeping us straight, logs, Sal just backing me up there just in case anything goes wrong. I am Carlos, N1CBM. Everybody in the Zoom room and the big brass of the ECR is also grateful for you guys are the life of our system. I'm going to close out the net number 151 for March the 6th, 2026. Everybody, the ECR is back up to normal amateur radio use. 7-3s, have a great weekend. N1CBM.